Most of us have heard people talk about the fact that doing something the same way and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. And I wanted to talk to you about something that I see happen so incredibly frequently with agencies and agency owners. And the item is that the fundamental belief that if you just work a little bit harder, if you make yourself a little bit more efficient, or if you just pile yourself with more work, are able to bring on a couple more clients, that you'll be able to have either the financial resources or the ability to be able to invest in your business and being able to get yourself out of that place. And I want to tell you, unfortunately, if this is what you're trying to do, that goal and being able to get to where you want to be and that pathway to do it is a mirage. That isn't how you're going to be able to accomplish it. That isn't what you're going to be able to do, because realistically speaking, that is what you've done so far. And it hasn't resulted in what you're looking for. You've added on a couple percent more, 5, 10, 15% more work on a monthly basis or annual basis or every few years. And realistically speaking, you're not in a different place. You may be slightly improved, but you're not in a vastly better place, being able to have more time, more freedom, and really having the ability to feel like you're not consistently on a hamster wheel. If this is you and how you're feeling, I want to help you go through a little bit of a mindset change that allows for you to think about what it is that you need to do differently to allow for your agency to be able to do a bit better. And so what I want to go through, and when you think about, and if you've been in business for 5+ years, and I see this happen very frequently for agencies that have been around for a bit longer, is that over time you've added on additional services for different clients, you've added on additional process, or you're doing things differently with every single client, and everything's fairly bespoke. And you believe that to be sort of fundamental of a boutique agency. And that's not really how it needs to be. And in fact, the more that you allow your clients to control things, the more that it's going to be problematic for you. And actually, quite frankly, the less amount that the client trusts you and is actually utilizing you as a consultant and leaning on you and your expertise to help them accomplish their goals as well. So it really actually helps both you and your client to not do things this way. But what ends up happening is that over the course of time, you end up with this sort of Franken business with things sort of just put in different places, layered on top of each other, and it's like nearly going to collapse and you're trying to hold it in place. And what really happens, and what is so incredibly important, is that the way that you've built your business right now is that it's really complex. And unfortunately, what I see very frequently is that complex actually does fail. And we don't want this, presumably, that you don't want to be in a place that either you're in the exact same place, you're not really growing. And I defined failing or dying where you're not actually growing at least the average of 9 to 11% a year. If you are not growing beyond that, or at least at that, you're dying or you're actually shrinking because you're not staying up with the average market growth. Average market growth ranges between 9 to 11%, specifically even in this industry. So wanted to have you think about that and exactly what you're doing. And I don't want you to add on 9 to 11% more work to yourself, but actually being able to create a business that allows for you to be able to make it more simple so that it can scale. And it's incredibly important that you do make sure that it is simplistic and easy to be able to manage so that you're able to get to where you want to be. So I'm going to just move this here for a moment. And the way that you want to think about what you want to be able to do with your agency is you want to look at a couple different areas so that you are only focusing on one specific thing for each area. That first one that we want to focus on is, who do we actually service, who that ideal client is, otherwise known as a niche. We want to understand exactly what it is that we do. How exactly do we offer our service, our product? What exactly is it that we do, and how exactly is it that we deliver that product? We want to make sure that we have a way to bring in leads and drive traffic to our service, and so that they become more aware of us and able to actually engage with your agency. And then finally, how do you convert? So how do you get those people that are hitting your brand and your agency actually into paying clients? So if we are able to focus on one prospect or one ideal client, we have one way that we offer our service, and ideally in a productized type of fashion, we are able to locate and define one traffic source and we're able to actually convert and nurture those prospects and leads into a paying client in one way, we're actually able to scale our business. I'm not saying that this is the only way to do it. There's definitely other ways to go about doing this, but typically speaking, for agencies that are sub $3 million, this is the best way to be able to do it. As you get beyond that point, there's some additional things you need to do. So this is more targeted for agencies that are doing less than 3 million, and even more so for agencies that are doing less than 1.5. I hope that this gives you a bit of an understanding of what and how you need to think about your agency so that you can create more scale and being able to get yourself out of that place where you feel like you're just having to take on the weight of the world in order to be able to grow your business and being able to accomplish your goals. It feels fleeting, I know, for the vast majority of you that are in that place, and I'm hoping that this gives you some clarity and some hope that it is accomplishable. You just have to look at things slightly differently, and it really isn't this massive change. It's just taking yourself back to foundation and making sure that you set that foundation a little bit better. And again, not telling you to let go of your clients today, just starting to do this from this point forward. And as you do productize and make these adjustments, you're able to allow the existing clients to either morph into that or let them go as things make more sense over time. If you have any questions on things and how to implement this type of mindset, do feel free to reach out to us at creativeagencysuccess.com. And don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video.